Hi everyone, this is Ahmed from Inshoma. This is part 2 of the Circular Update series. In part 1 of the series, you have seen how to view and analyze the differences between different circular versions and your customization product. Today we're going to see how to handle conflicts in your customization product after Migrate. When it comes to handling conflicts, there may be components that might be marked as attention required. These are the components that has been changed by the circular and by the user. For components that wasn't changed by the user, but were changed by the circular, will be migrated to the new circular version component. These components will not be marked as attention required, but you can mark them as attention required by adding notes to them. The notes will help you resolve your conflicts as you toggle through the conflicts in the tree view. Let's see these actions in the screen. On your My Customization screen, you can click on your migrated product and click on Edit. As you can see, there is now an alert on for you that says there are some components that require your attention. These were the attention required items that we just talked about. Let's quickly go back to compare versions and see the components again. From part 1 of the series, you remember there was a Tennessee uninsured motorist coverage that was changed by the circular and the user. There was also a corresponding field that was changed by the circular and user, and there was a conflict in the label field. You can also view the notes and see there are some system-generated notes, and now you can add user notes to this. First, let's handle the conflicts in the UI tree. For this component, I can see that the number was changed by the circular, and only the status and attachment part were changed by the user. For this case, let's ignore this conflict and put this message on the user notes. Once you're done adding notes, click on Save User Notes. For the field, we can see that there's a conflict on label, so let's try fixing this conflict. Save your user notes. And once you're done adding notes to your components, jump back to the tree view. In your tree view, you can quickly go to the attention required item by hovering over the review item in your alert and click on Review Compare UI items. This will automatically open an attention required item for you. On the top of the window over here, you can see the system generated notes and your user notes. For this case, if you remember, we have written to ignore this component. So let's quickly mark this component as resolved and move on to the other component. In this case, we wanted to fix this component by changing the conflict to the circular update version. At the moment, you can see that this floating window is blocking my view of the component. We can fix this issue by clicking on Show Position and Width, and we can either change the size of this window or we can change the position. Let's fix the conflict. We can easily get the updated version from here. Copy the updated version and place it into your component. Save your changes. And once the change has been successfully saved, you can mark the component as resolved. resolved all our UI items. Close the floating panel, and you will be prompted back to the tree view. We now have some table items over here that require attention. When it comes to handling table conflicts, you will be prompted with 3 steps. The first step is to select a base table. This step requires to select a table from either the previous version of your customization or the new circular version. The next step is to handle changes in conflicts. In this step, you can add your previous user changes into your new final table. The last step is to mark the table as resolved and save the table data. You can redo this process all over again just by marking the component as unresolved. Let's see how this is done. Over here, let's go back to the Compare Versions tab and see the tables that have been changed. Click on View Differences to quickly view the 3 tables, and we can analyze what to do from here onwards. Over here, we can see that the whole table has been changed by the circle. So in this case, let's select the new circular table and add all our changes from the previous table. I can easily add notes to this component by clicking on the notes and write down our required observations. Let's look at our next table. And we can see only some rows have been changed by the circular, and we have quite a few changes here. At this moment, let's select our previous table as our base table, add some selected rows, in this case, the second row and the 4th row, from the circular into our base table, and put back all the user changes into our final table. Let's add some notes to this. And save user notes. Go back to your tree view and review your compare tables. We are now on step 1 of handling our table migration. Open your user notes. And over here, I wanted to select the previous table as base table and all users changes and second row and the 4th row from circular table. Select the previous table as your base table. Now you're in the second step of the process. In this screen, you can see on the left-hand side, there's the final table data, and on the right-hand side is your reference table data. The final table data refers to the base table that you selected and any changes that you make on this screen. And then this table data will be saved onto your customization. The reference table data refers to the table that you did not select from step 1 and your user table from your previous customization. So let's open the notes again to remind ourselves what we need to do. We wanted to add all the user notes, all the user changes into our final table data. So in order to do this, we can see that the first row has been changed. Click on the first row, and some actions will be shown to you. You can click on Replace with Final Table Row, and click on the row you want to replace the row with. We can now see that the row has been replaced in the final table data. You can see that the 3rd row has been deleted. Click on the 3rd row on your final table data, and click on Delete. You can see that this row has also been changed in the reference table data. Click on this row on your final table data, and you can also click on Replace with the reference table row. and then select the row you want to replace with. Let's delete this row as well. Finally, we wanted to add second row and fourth row from circular table to our base table. Let's switch back to the circular table by clicking on Show Circular Table on the reference table tab. Select the second row and click on Replace with Funnel Table row. Select your fourth row and click on Replace with Funnel Table row. All our changes have now been updated, and we can complete table review and update. If you're happy with your changes, click on Mark as Result and save the table down. Your table data has now been saved, and now let's move on to the next attention required table item. In this case, we wanted to select our circular table as base table and add all the user changes into our funnel table. So let's do that. Select New Circular Table as a base table in step 1. And now let's add all the user changes. You can see on the right, your reference table data is your user table, and on the left, your file table data is your circular table, as selected in step 1. For your reference table data, we can also see the parent table, which is the table from your previous customization without any user changes. Let's add all the user changes. You can see that I have added 2 new rows into this table. To add this row, you can click on this row and click Insert Row to Final Table. This will add the row for you into the final table. You can also make any manual changes you want in your final table data by clicking on a row and changing any item that you would like to change. And then clicking on Edit Row will change that row for you. Once you're done with all the changes, click on Complete Table and Update. Mark as resolved and save table data. All our table components that were marked as attention required have now been resolved. You can view your resolved components by going to the button here and review items. Click on Review Compare Tables, and you can see the change table that you have done over here now. This concludes our handling conflicts for migrated products. Thank you for watching.